Joyce versus Chisora. So I did a video a few days ago questioning the morality behind this fight. Like, should it be happening? These are guys that have taken a lot of damage in their career. Chisora's lost 13 times. He's had a lot of damage, a lot of knockouts. Joyce as well, known for not having very good defense, just defense punches with his own chin. I think the losses to Zhang just showed that all that damage he'd taken, his punch resistance had finally gone. So I was a little bit concerned about this fight happening. I was like, oh, this could end badly, you know, if there's a heavy knockout for either of these guys. They've taken so much damage in their career. You know, one of them can end up in hospital. Bad things like this can happen in boxing. You know, I always remember Watson versus Eubank. That ended so tragically for Michael Watson. A lot of times it is easy to forget that boxing can have real life consequences, right? I didn't know if there was a lot of point behind the fight. Are either fighter really going to go for like a world title? Like, Chisora's been there, done it. Joyce knocked out by Zhang, who's just on the cusp of being world level. But look, it's an exciting fight. They're both adults, they're both fighters. They can do what they like. If they think they're ready to fight, of course they can fight. Who is to tell them they can't fight? So, all that aside, let me do a preview for the fight. So, Joyce won his last fight against Cash Ali, but he didn't look too convincing. He got caught with that overhand right a lot. And you think, anyone who hits a bit harder, Joyce could be going down again. And Chisora does hit hard. I remember Usyk saying that when he got hit by Chisora, it felt like he was being hit by a truck. And he mentioned him as one of the hardest punches he'd ever fought. I think a lot of that could have been doing with Usyk coming up from cruiserweight at the time. So, you know, fighting these bigger guys is just a whole new level his body wasn't used to yet. Because it was only his second fight as a heavyweight. But you've got to give Chisora some credit for that, right? And Chisora did win against Washington. It wasn't the most exciting fight in the world. There's not a huge amount to say about it, really. Chisora kind of caught him a bit in the 5th round, but it was a pretty kind of average fight. People thought Washington deserved the win, but Chisora was probably a bit busier. Not a huge amount to say about that. And obviously, Joyce has only had that one fight since he got defeated by Zhang twice. The first time his eyes were really messed up. The second time, it was that huge, real knockout. But Joyce does have some good names on his record. Parker and Dubois. And that Dubois fight has aged very well. Although Dubois, I'm sure, is a different fighter to who he was when he fought Joyce. So, as I said, an intriguing fight. Hard to call. Joyce probably has more power, but it just concerns me as to how easily he can be hit sometimes. You know, if Chisora walks forward, roughs him up, just keeps hitting him, puts his combinations together, I could definitely see Joyce getting dropped. But Chisora didn't seem to have too much power in his last fight against Washington. At no point did Washington look buzzed or phased, or, you know, did his legs start to go. So I wasn't too convinced by the Chisora performance against Washington. I think, you know, Chisora is probably a little bit past his best. I would look at those runner wins before he fought Usyk as probably, you know, being in his best form. You know, he's fought so many people. He's fought Klitschko, David Haye, Fury 3 times. You know, I could go on and on with people he's fought. Obviously, he's experienced, but he's also damaged. So, and to be fair to Joyce, as I said, I wasn't convinced by his performance against Cash Ali, but he did get the knockout in the last round. So I don't know how harsh you can be when someone wins via knockout. So I think for me, I would favour Joyce. I can't see Chisora avoiding a big right hand from Joyce, but I think if Joyce's chin holds out, he'll win. But I think I could see Chisora catching him with something early on. And is Joyce going to get some sort of PTSD to the Zhang fights? If Chisora starts to hurt him, he could go down and he could get that PTSD and think, no, I don't want this again. I don't want to be in a war again. So, as I said, I think it's an intriguing fight. Both big blokes that hit hard. You can see either one winning. I think if Chisora wins, I think it'll be because Joyce's punch resistance is gone and he'll get him in round 5 or 6. But I think if it goes all the way, I think Joyce will stop him late. I think Joyce could stop him in rounds 9, 10. If the fight goes longer. So as I said, I think the two things to look out for is Joyce's punch resistance. He doesn't have any defense. If he's going to be defending all these shots with his face, you know, we hope his chin's still there and his punch resistance is good. And I think for Chisora, it's can he put those punches together? Can he scare Joyce? Give him some of that PTSD from the Zhang fight? So as I said, it should be an exciting fight. Two big names in the heavyweight division. I think if Joyce wins, it might be a Parker rematch. That would make sense. If Chisora wins, I guess Chisora's kind of fought everyone, so it's hard to say where he'd go next. Maybe the winner of Bacoli versus Anderson would make sense. I think if you had to push me for a prediction, I think I'm going to say Joyce catches him. You know, Chisora's had a lot of damage in his career. Joyce has only lost twice, although as I said, he defends punches with his face. So I think for my prediction, I'm going to say Joyce will win via knockout in the later rounds. So yeah, there's my preview for Chisora versus Joyce. Leave me your prediction in the comments down below. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.